Hey, it's Black Vader once again with another reading of the code. This reading we're going into area, area 8, sex. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that yada yadas. We're just gonna get into it. You can get the code at producejustice.com. Written by Neely Fullers. Goes into all 9 areas of human activity that we deal with. So let's just get into it. 275. The following pages present suggestions that pertain to what a victim of racism non-white person should or should not choose to do in the 8th major area of people activity. Each person should choose to speak and or act according to one or more suggestions presented, but only if he or she decides to do so. No person should speak and or act according to any suggestion presented herein unless he or she has judged that the suggestion chosen is of current and correct value in helping to eliminate racism, white supremacy, and or helping to better produce justice. It is important to know and understand that one or more suggestions selected for one major area of activity should be used in constructive combination with one or more suggestions selected from other major areas of people activity. So, if an individual person chooses to utilize any suggestion presented wherein he or she should do so in a manner at a specific place at a specific time that will produce the most constructive results in the revelation of truth and or justice and correctness. Sex, according to compensatory logic, is any interaction between a male and a female that may or may not include one or more varieties of sexual intercourse and or sexual play. The remarks and suggestions made herein are made with the intention of being helpful in producing constructive results pertaining to non-white people in their sexual arrangements during the existence of the system of white supremacy. It is important to know and to understand that during the existence of and because of the system of white supremacy, no sexual arrangement of any kind will be what it should be. To expect it to be what it should be is to invite disappointment and or unnecessary confusion and conflict. As long as the system of white supremacy racism dominates all of the interactions between the white people and non-white people of the known universe, it is correct for all people to expect all interactions between white people and non-white people and between non-white people and each other to be no more than tacky, trashy, or terroristic, the tragic arrangement. It is correct to expect this in all places, at all times, in all areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war/counter-war. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, it is best and correct to keep in mind that all sexual interaction between people should be designed to and intended to promote thought, speech, and action that best helps to replace the system of white supremacy racism with the system of justice, balance between people. Therefore, in all arrangements, it is important to think of the ultimate goal as to not only get satisfaction from sexual sensations themselves, but to think of every interaction as part of a focused, constructive process of producing all of the qualifications and characteristics of the universal man and for universal woman. As long as white supremacy racism exists, think, speak, and or act as if you expect the white supremacist racists to produce and promote chaos, confusion, and many forms of conflict between non-white males and non-white females. Their deeds include the promotion of gender manipulation and any form of counter-sexual behavior that they think may help to weaken the desire for non-white people to qualify for universal man correctly relating to And with /4, universal woman. As long as white supremacy racism exists, remember to, at all times, blame all such conflict between non-white males and non-white females on those white people who participate in the maintenance of white supremacy. General. We have the 5-minute mark. I ain't stopping. General, what question: if a non-white lady desires to have sexual intercourse with whom should she choose to do so? Answer: as long as white supremacy exists, a non-white female should choose only a non-white male who is currently doing all that he can to speak and or act to put an immediate end to the system of white supremacy racism and to replace it with justice, balance among people, among all areas of activity. Oops. Let me stop. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, those non-white persons who are involved in counter-racist speech and or action are the males and females who are best qualified to think, speak, and act in support of sexual intercourse and or sexual play with each other. In everyday communications, always refer to non-white females as females or ladies. Do not refer to them as women. Explanation: as long as white supremacy racism exists, only white females are permitted to function as women. Within a system of white supremacy, the white males and white females who practice white supremacy racism think, speak, and act in such a manner as to guarantee that all non-white males will not be able to function as men, and to guarantee that all non-white females will not be able to function as women. During the existence of white supremacy, all non-white people are forced by the white supremacists to function as a male or female children, not as men or as women. Because of the burdens, insults, lack of protection, lack of support, and the general mistreatment that they have been forced to endure during the existence of white supremacy, every non-white female has earned a title of lady. Always use the word lady when talking about or to any female, regardless of the circumstance. Example: what the lady did should not have been done. Question: within a system of white supremacy racism, what are the 4 correct titles that should be used to describe a white female? Answer: 1. White female. 2. Lady or white lady. 3. Woman or white woman. 4. Racist suspect female, but only if there's a reason to believe that the white female is very likely functioning as a racist/white supremacist. Explanation: those white people of the known universe who practice white supremacy are the only people who have the power to decide which people are men and which people are women, rather than simply males or females. Within a system of white supremacy, it is the white supremacists who decide who is to be regarded as treated as a boy or girl, regardless of their formal or informal title: Mr., Miss, Lady, Gentleman, Judge, King, Queen, Father, Mother, etc. The white supremacists have decided that in order to maintain a system of white supremacy, only white females can be regarded as women. Within a system of white supremacy, all non-white females are regarded as non-women, girls, gals, etc., or as creatures to be valued as less than women. Bitches, basically. As long as white supremacy exists, non-white males are the boys and the non-white females are the girls, who are niggas and bitches, basically, are the girls who are dependent upon, are subject to racist men and racist women. White supremacist men and women collectively. Question: what are the best and correct things to say when talking about your sexual activities? Answer: say one or more of the following. All of my sexual activities have been a result of the system of white supremacy racism. None of my sexual activities have resulted in the replacement of the system of white supremacy racism with the system of justice, balance between people. My sexual morality is and always has been equal to or better than the sexual morality of all the white people who have participated in the system of white supremacy. When you expect that the white supremacist racist man or racist woman collectively are seeking to say things about you sexually in order to best help them give strength to the system of white supremacy, say, as a victim of white supremacy, I am willing to answer any questions pertaining to my mutual sexual activities as soon as I have a guarantee that what I say will not be used in support of the system of white supremacy. Question: when non-white people willfully, deliberately, and mutually engage in sexual intercourse and or sexual play with each other, what people are qualified to criticize, pass judgment on, or make fun of them? Answer: no person is qualified. Question: why? Answer: no white person is qualified because during the existence of white supremacy, racism, the conduct of white people against non-white people in matters of sexual intercourse, sexual play, and or anti-sexual, so-called homosexual activity is and has been incorrect, unjust, tacky, trashy, and or characteristic. No non-white person is qualified because he or she has directly or indirectly tolerated, condoned, and or supported the incorrect, unjust, tacky, trashy, and or characteristic conduct of white people against non-white people in matters of sexual intercourse, sexual play, and or homosex and asexual activity. Question: what is the correct thing to say in regards to most criticisms that white people make about the sexual behavior of non-white people? Answer: say, considering the tacky, trashy characteristic and tragic record of the sexual behavior of white people with against non-white people, no white person is correctly qualified to say anything derogatory or belittling about the mutual sexual or anti-sexual behavior of any non-white person. Do not expect any person to be so-called sexually moral at all times, under all conditions. Do not expect any person to be so-called proper in what he or she may do in matters of sex, male with female interaction. No, expect any person to sometimes make major errors or surprising or disturbing changes in his or her sexual conduct, and expect him or her to do so in a manner that is neither logical or easy to explain. Be aware of everyone's sexual weaknesses, strengths, and peculiarities. Neely. Be aware of everyone's sexual weaknesses, strengths, and peculiarities, including your own. Be cautious in your judgment and conclusions. Be careful in what you say or do that may add confusion about or do greater non-constructive harm to those involved in one or more questionable sexual situations, especially during the existence of white supremacy racism. Notes: sex and thoughts, speech and action associated with sexual intercourse and or sexual play is extremely powerful motivating force that has a great effect on everything that people do or not do in every area of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, and war/counter-war. Correct sexual behavior can only take place in a correct system. The system of white supremacy racism is not a correct system. Question: during the existence of white supremacy, what is the best and correct way to describe the sexual activities of non-white people? Answer: pitiful. During the existence of white supremacy, the word pitiful best describes anything and everything that non-white people do that does not result in the replacement of the system of white supremacy racism with a system of justice, balance between people. Pitiful. Question: does every person in the known universe has a serious sex problem? Yes. Every person in the known universe is at all times either engaging in sexual intercourse or sexual play, or he is, she is directly or indirectly reacting to those who are so engaged. Either way, all such actions and reactions produce problems. Explanation: everything associated with sexual intercourse, sexual play, and or reactions to sexual intercourse and or sexual play, and everything associated with homosexual, lesbian sex produces problems in one form or another. All of these problems collectively help to make the problem of replacing the system of white supremacy racism with a system of justice balance between people extremely difficult. The system of white supremacy guarantees that no form of sexually related activity will produce correct relations between people as long as white supremacy exists. No. During the existence of white supremacy, and according to compensatory counter-racist logic, no major problem between the people of the known universe can be solved until the system of white supremacy racism is ended. Question: during the existence of white supremacy, which people engage in sexual intercourse, sexual play, and or sexual interaction of any kind has proven to be correct? Answer: none. During the existence of white supremacy racism, 1. None of the sexual interactions between the people of the known universe has proven effective in helping to replace the system of white supremacy racism with the system of justice balance between people. All such interactions are questionable because none have been proven correct. So basically, if all the sex has not resulted, all the sex in the universe that we know of has not resulted in the white supremacy, then all the sex that we have made is nothing. Nothing. Number 2, white people function sexually in a manner that helps white people to produce, white people function sexually in a manner that best helps white people to practice white supremacy. 3, non-white people are forced by the white supremacists to function sexually in a manner that best helps white people. Non-white people help white people practice white supremacy. During the existence of white supremacy, how many non-white people are adopted and abused children of the white supremacist, racist man and racist woman collectively? Answer: all of the non-white people of the known universe of all ages. Question: during the existence of white supremacy, when exactly is a non-white person sexually mature? At no time. During the existence of white supremacy, all non-white people are forced to function as children, and the white supremacy are the illegitimate race partners. As a subject child of the white supremacists, no non-white person can function as a mature person in any area of activity, including sex. Crap, they looked at Malcolm X and Martin Luther King as kids anyway, and they were the manliest men there was. Okay, let's see if we can still keep going before we start to go hard. I'm still going. Screw it. Question: what are the 3 things that you should definitely not do in regards to sexual intercourse? Answer: do not be hypocritical in anything that you say or do to anything that involves sexual intercourse in your chosen religion. Number 2, do not engage in sexual intercourse with a white person as long as white supremacy exists. 3, do not say or do anything that you believe may help racist men and racist women gain greater power over any non-white person in any area of activity, particularly in the manners associated with sex. Question: what is the best and correct? When is it best and correct for a white person to engage in sexual intercourse or sexual play with anyone, white or non-white? Answer: after white supremacy no longer exists. Until then, it is best and correct for sincere white people to practice so-called religious sexual abstinence in order to help produce energy and focus on ending racism. Explanation: during the existence of white supremacy, it is incorrect for a white person to engage in sexual intercourse and or sexual play with anyone for any reason. Instead, it is correct for each white person to do all that he or she can to do to replace the system of white supremacy racism with the system of justice, balance between people, and to do so with all deliberate speed. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, any white person who is not willing to do the aforementioned should not regard him or herself as being sincere in trying to replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice. Only talk about your sexual experiences, etc. for the following purposes. 1. Medical and or health protection. 2. Constructive emergency protection for yourself and or for another non-white person. 3. To reveal any sexual experience that involve the white person. 4. Constructive remarks in opposition to anti-sexual activities, homo and or lesbian sex, that involve a non-white person. 5. To promote honesty between yourself and a non-white person with whom you have mutually agreed to have sexual intercourse. What else? Males particularly do not at any time do or say anything to a non-white female, particularly with the intention of belittling or insulting her. The very worst non-white female has done more for non-white manhood. The very worst non-white female has done more for non-white manhood than the very best non-white male has done for non-white womanhood. Non-white males have been always allowed and or assisted both white men and white women, particularly white supremacists, in misusing, abusing, and trashing non-white females. At the same time, non-white males have always expected non-white females to help and give comfort to them. It is correct for non-white males to stop doing anything that is belittling or insulting and to stop doing so immediately and forever. If you think that your chosen mate deserves to be belittled, there is no logical reason why your chosen mate should be your chosen mate. Because of the many derogatory, belittling, devastating, and totally harmful things that racist white men and women have done and are doing against non-white females through the system of white supremacy, no person, white or non-white, is qualified to make any belittling, derogatory jokes and or otherwise non-constructive remarks about anything that any non-white female does in matters of sex. Whenever you see, hear, or are asked about non-white females being degraded, insulted, trashed, and or depicted in a vulgar, obscene, derogatory manner, blame the white supremacists, racist man and racist woman collectively. Let's see if we can finesse one more. I don't really want to get into this. Yeah, I got it. Okay. What is one of the best and correct ways to explain why racism is stronger than sexism? Sexism is the practice of males mistreating females because they are females, and are females mistreating males because they are males. Racism, white supremacy, is the practice of white people during the existence of white supremacy, mistreating non-white people because of their color or factors associated with the color of those people. If sexism were stronger than racism, white women would have eliminated white supremacy by refusing to help white men practice white supremacy against non-white females. Notes: Many white women pretend that they are not willing partners with those white men who are in the business of white supremacy. They do this in a very deceitful manner. They do this for the purpose of continuing to dominate and confuse both the non-white females and non-white males. They pretend that they have nothing to do with what white men do. As long as white supremacy exists, no one understands that no matter how much white men and women may fight each other, or in other ways be in conflict with each other, it is best and correct to believe that the most important attraction that they have for each other is based on the desire to continue the system of white supremacy. And that is what we're going to read today. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for everyone for being a part of this. We're still in this area 8 in the sex. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm going to do when we finish all these. Maybe I'll just focus on my other channel and stuff and do I don't know, reaction videos or something. But I just want to say thanks to everybody who's reading and watching, whatever. If this is like, I don't know, many years in the future and I'm president or something, this bites me in the butt, it is what it is. I'm still going to be on code regardless. So I just want to just say thanks to everyone who's a part of this and who's also being on code with me. You know, the system of white supremacy isn't going nowhere, but as long as everyone just, you know, gets on code in some way, shape, or form, it's already over. So I just want to say thanks to everyone. God bless everyone. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever, however you're celebrating in your confinement in the system of white supremacy. I just want to say thanks to everyone and God bless you guys. Peace. It's Black Vader.